chocolate.
Hi， 大家好，欢迎你们来到我们黑熊爱的现场直播。今天我们有的这个 event 是 VANHOUTEN Chocolate。Hai,
selamat datang ke HOI Live bersama saya Yana dan kawan saya Tin. Okey, hari ni event kita adalah VANHOUTEN Professional. Okey, sebelum menunggu chef nak buat demo, kita borak dulu. Kita borak dulu berdua. Okey, saya nak bagi tahu banyak pasal VANHOUTEN punya coklat, VANHOUTEN punya bread dan promo yang ada hari ni dan apa dessert yang kita buat hari ni. Sementara you all nak menunggu sementara nak menunggu Perdana Menteri kita yang siapa yang akan jadi, so you all boleh borak dengan kita orang, okey?
如果你们有什么问题，有什么答案或者是什么不明白的，你们也可以 PM 我们，我们今天会在这里回答你们。OK， 所以今天我们VANHOUTEN呢，这个 event 呢我们是做 chocolate 的巧克力，所以等一下我们会有一个老师，他是多年经验的 chef Amanda， 所以他会教我们怎样如何采用这些巧克力来做出这些不同的甜品。
Okay, untuk barangan VANHOUTEN kita ada beberapa promotion untuk harga. Kita ada compound dan kita ada conversion. Siapa yang selalu guna VANHOUTEN dia mesti tahukan harga dekat pasaran luar berapa. Dan saya nak bagi tahu harga untuk kita punya dark compound block before 15.9, tapi hari ni kita bagi promo RM15.50. Seterusnya blok dengan kain sama harga dia RM15.50 promo untuk hari ni, dan walk in untuk beli kat sini, beli kat atas saja untuk dapatkan harga ni. Dekat bawah?
Ya, atas saja. Untuk kita event ini sahaja, dan you orang live punya, you boleh pergi kita punya houtpacking.com, kita punya online sana beli.
Yes,
lalu
betul.
ada dapat kita punya offer dan kita punya free gift. So kita free gift macam mana?
RM200 ke atas akan dapat 3 item. 3 item free tau. Siapa nak bagi? Salah satu adalah apron VANHOUTEN.
Full apron.
Kalau dah pakai ni, tak jadi macam orang kaya sebabnya boleh masak dengan bangku. Boleh masak dengan bangku ni. Kita ada VANHOUTEN punya apron. Kedua adalah
kita oven glove. So kita buat memang nak ada guna oven glove.
Ya, betul.
So lagi kita tambah ni silikon punya spatula. So ada logo yang VANHOUTEN punya. So you beli ke 200 ke atas. Semua VANHOUTEN punya compound ke commercial chocolate. So dia punya brand lah. So you boleh dapat ini
3 jenis punya harga.
Ya.
So macam mana? Siapa nak bagi ni VANHOUTEN punya brand pula tu kan?
Okey, kalau tak beli sampai 200, so kita 100 pun ada free.
So kita ke bawah akan dapat
kita satu glove dengan
apron.
So RM100 pun boleh dapat ini free gift yang besar punya.
Betul.
So you sekarang tunggu apa? Datang masuk kita punya houtpacking.com sana, walk in beli.
Ataupun kalau rasa macam free, saya free lah hari ni, sementara menunggu keputusan Perdana Menteri kita kan, datang ke HOI, naik ke atas untuk beli VANHOUTEN punya brand.
Lagi sekarang kami kita nak Christmas sudah, so Christmas punya doki virus sudah fikir. Baiknya sekarang tengok kita punya live demo, tengok kita chef guna ini coklat macam mana guna. So you boleh pakai ini untuk top gift, bagi you orang punya Christmas top gift. So nanti you orang masa tengok kita punya live, so tengok kita chef macam mana buat guna ni coklat. So jadi you boleh Christmas punya top gift, you boleh guna kita punya resepi. Betul. Kalau you orang tak ada resepi kan, you boleh PM kita boleh share resepi bagi you orang.
Okey, sepanjang live ni sedang pertanyaan, kalau you orang nak tanya apa-apa pasal coklat ke kan, asal event next ke, you boleh tinggalkan komen, kita akan jawab. Okay, sekarang ni saya nak tunjuk salah satu dessert ni, 2 dessert daripada VANHOUTEN kan, nampak tak?
Cantik tak?
Awak cantik dan sedap kan? Kalau rasa teringin sangat, kan? Rasa teringin nak datang nak rasa, datang ke HOI. free je guys. Saya nak ajak you all datang untuk makan benda yang free. Lepas tu kalau tapi untuk kelas kita bermula pukul 1 nanti sampai pukul 4 bergantung pada keadaan. Mungkin cepat habis, mungkin lambat habis, tak pasti. Tapi start pukul 1 lah. Kalau dah semacam sempat lagi boleh datang ke esok hari. Kita ada banyak lagi dessert nak bagi you all makan. Kan?
Okay, ya, betul. Kita ada besok lagi pun ada event. Kalau sekarang you tak sempat, kita ada besok pun sama kita ada untuk Christmas punya party. Untuk ni coklat. So kalau hari ni tak sempat punya, you long besok boleh datang. Kita sama punya open punya masa yang pukul 10 pagi hingga pukul 5 petang.
5 petang. Ya, betul. Kok lah you masih lagi bercuti kan? Sementara yelah sekarang ni memang rasa nak bercuti je selagi tak tahu siapa kita punya Perdana Menteri kan. So sepanjang cuti tu datang ke SOI. Datang ke SOI boleh shopping, boleh datang ke atas rasa dessert daripada chef kita kan. So datang ke SOI
Okay,
jangan lupa contoh kalau macam you all tak nak roin, tak ada masa nak roin ke, masuk kita punya hoybaking.com untuk beli barang secara online.
Ya, hoybaking dalam pun ada kita punya offer dan kita punya free gift juga.
Betul. Yang mana jauh, rasa macam jauhnya SOI ni, tak apa, boleh beli secara online, jangan risau. Kita punya House of England ni adalah salah satu bakery yang paling murah dan paling banyak sangat kita jual barang-barang.
Yes,
boleh bandingkan harga kita dengan harga kat luar.
OK， 所以今天我们这个 VANHOUTEN chocolate， so 你在我们这边现场，你买我们这个 VANHOUTEN 的产品，所以我们也会有赠品送给你们。所以它除了chocolate， 我们今天也会有做优惠之外，我们凡买过200块以上，所以我们会送一个 apron， 是full 的全的 apron， 然后我们会送多一个这个 oven glove 这个手套。然后我们还会送多一个这个 silicone 的 spatula， 这个是可以耐热的。所以你凡购200块以上，我们就会送这些赠品给你们。记得是我们有折扣，过后你买过200块，我们就会送赠品。如果你凡买过100块以上，我们就会送一个这个。Oven glove 就是可以拿那个烘盘的，然后我们会送的一个这个 apron 是100块以上。所以如果没有在现场的，你们也可以在我们的这个 hoybaking.com 里面也是可以购买到得到我们今天的优惠和我们的赠品。所以记得只是现在我们这个 event 是做3天，所以VANHOUTEN的这个赠品我们是for今天而已。所以你们呢立刻上网去看。所以我们今天做这个 chocolate， 等下我们的老师会有教我们怎样采用这些的巧克力来做出不同的这个巧克力。所以刚刚我们有给你们看到那个巧克力，全部都是老师的自己的食谱。所以如果你们有兴趣的话，你们可以留言给我们，我们就会分享我们的 recipe 给你们咯。
Okey, sebelum saya lupa, saya nak minta mana yang tengok live ni, tolong share banyak-banyak live ni, share kat mana-mana group yang you all ada, untuk kita ajak lebih ramai tengok join live ni kan. So kita pukul 1 sekejap lagi ada demo daripada chef kita.
So sekarang chef belum start lagi. You orang cepat-cepat sekarang tolong bagi banyak-banyak like dan share gitu. Ya,
share banyak-banyak, share kat mana group pun lah.
Share banyak-banyak bagi ramai-ramai orang tahu kita ada ni live tengok. Demo dengan boleh tengok chef kita buat kita punya resepi.
Betul. Lepas tu any tips, any komen ke apa benda you nak tanya ke, you boleh tanya, tinggalkan komen, kita akan jawab. Contoh kalau macam soalan tu berkenaan produk atau berkenaan resepi, nak direct tanya dengan chef pun boleh tinggalkan komen, kita akan suruh chef kita jawab. Tak ada masalah, jangan malu, type saja.
Kerana coklat, you tengok kita makan sedap, tapi kita makan cepat. Tapi ramai orang tak tahu buat coklat dia ada cara dia dengan yang susah dia. Macam mana cair, macam mana guna, macam mana buat. Ni semua pun nak ikut tu resepi dan kita ada chef punya dia ada
cara dia.
Ya,
Lepas tu
betul.
setiap produk coklat dia ada temperature yang betul untuk dapatkan rasa yang betul lah dengan coklat ni.
Ya,
betul.
lagi coklat Yulam biasa boleh nampak kenapa ada dark, ada milk.
Yes.
Lepas tu dark kan kenapa ada berapa persen, ini berapa persen untuk apa?
Untuk compound kita
Yeah.
ada conversion.
Yeah.
Apa beza conversion dengan compound ni, tunggu next kita akan terangkan.
Yes.
Perbezaan compound dengan conversion.
Ya, so nanti
Lepas
chef
tu-
akan tunjuk kita apa yang compound, apa yang conversion.
Yes. So stay tu dalam kita punya live. Tunggu dulu, jangan ke mana-mana. Stay je dalam live kita. Banyak bagi benda kita nak kongsi. Lepas tu dapatkan harga promo mana yang business menggunakan coklat. Contohlah guna coklat lain sebelum ni, boleh try guna VANHOUTEN dan rasa sendiri dia punya perbezaan rasa coklat. Tak raya nanti kan kita nak buat Melanda. Melanda biasanya salah satu kuih raya yang paling famous lah dekat Malaysia untuk Melayu punya kan. Untuk raya kan. Boleh guna milk ataupun dark ataupun satin. Kita ada 3 tau compound. Tiga-tiga dah sedap kalau nak buat untuk coating Melanda.
So nanti you boleh tengok, nanti chef ada buat you biskuti. So biskuti pun boleh rasa dengan buat kita punya nanti Christmas punya cookies atau raya punya cookies.
Kan. Raya punya Chinese punya rasanya setiap raya boleh gunakan apa-apa apa panggil festival lah boleh guna coklat pelbagai kan.
Kerana tadi you nak try, sedap.
Ya sedap.
Semua orang ingat coklat manis. Semua tak nak try. Bila dia dalam masuk mulut, semua tak boleh berhenti.
Kita tahu lagi-lagi kalau yang dark, dia bukannya manis pun, dia rasa koko tu tahu, rasa koko yang sebenar.
Ya,
So
betul.
kalau macam nak tahu kan, macam mana nak tahu apa coklat yang lebih macam nak cakap maksudnya persen dia. So semakin tinggi persen dia tu semakin banyak dia punya koko dalam tu. Macam itulah kan.
Ya,
Antara conversion dengan compound ni memang ada beza. Tunggu untuk next kita akan tunjukkan. So sekarang ni kita nak tunjuk demo live daripada kita punya chef. Chef, kita nak mulakan dah ke? Nak mulakan? Belum lagi? Kita nak tunggu.
Tapi kita promote. So ingat kalau hari ni tak ada masa
Tak
punya,
dapat.
kita besok pun ada lagi.
So 3 hari berturut-turut
Ya.
3 hari berturut untuk tahun ini yang terakhir. Tahun depan tak pasti bulan berapa dan hari apa. So
Follow kita punya Facebook.
Dapat besok dapat
Ya.
makan makanan free je saya nak bagi ni. Macam-macam dessert akan sedap. Kalau tengok page show kan, dia akan tunjukkan dessert-dessert. Salah satu tadi saya tunjukkan dessert tu, itu memang sedap, sangat-sangat sedap.
Ya, betul. Kalau kita cakap tak tahu nak macam mana cerita punya rasa. So kalau boleh besok ada lagi dengan lusa 25 hari Jumaat kita pun ada. Kita pun ada lagi dia macam sampling, you boleh try kita punya coklat. Lepas tu kita pun ada live demo punya juga. So kalau tak boleh datang punya, you pun boleh tengok kita punya live demo dengan follow kita punya Facebook. Kalau boleh tolong kita like dengan share kan. So kita hari Jumaat tu kita ada yang kalabak punya coklat.
Betul, selebab untuk hari Jumaat. So kalau rasakan jauh, siapa yang jauh tu support kita daripada live kita. Kalau tak dapat datang kan, support daripada live. Tengok live kawan-kawan. Ajak kawan-kawan tengok mana home bakers memang dialu-alukan sangat. Datang sekali ke SOR mesti tak akan rasa menyesal dan akan datang lagi. So, kalau nak tahu lagi apa yang SOR jual ni, takkanlah coklat, tepung je. Tak, kita ada banyak sangat jual. Kita ada barang mesin kan.
Yes, kita mesin hari ni pun ada buat offer.
Yes. Dan tentunya kita punya mesin brand Kenwood
Tan
Kenwood. Kenwood adalah salah satu brand yang bagus lah kan. Cakap bagus, memang dia tahan lasak, dia tahan lama. So memang berbaloi lah untuk beli.
Ya, betul.
So kita ada coffee machine, kita ada oven, kita ada hand mixer, macam-macam. Kalau nak tahu lebih sangat, masuk ke hoybaking.com ni, you akan nampak apa yang kita jual.
Betul. houtbaking.com talam dia bukan asal yang jual barang saja. Lepas kita talam pun ada banyak resepi, banyak video, so you boleh tanya sana, boleh tengok
macam-macam ada. You kena masuk dulu. Alah, bukan susah pun, masuk Google.
ya, tap sahaja houtbaking.com.
Sekarang ni semua di hujung jari anda. So, kalau saya rasa betul-betul malas sangat tu, kalau dah betul-betul malas sangat tu, saya rasa tak payah jadi manusia.
Apa, like kita, share kita, so kita dulu masuk kita punya VIP, so jadi kita share ada apa kan, you pun boleh nampak.
Betul tu. Kita akan serve kita punya customer betul-betul okay?
Dia ada tak
kita akan serve baik-baik lah macam tu. Okay. So, tak ada apa benda lagi cakap, kita akan mulakan live.
Chef mungkin start sudah, so kita bagi masa sikit, nanti kita jumpa lagi.
Dan mana tunggu.
Ya.
Tak nak kawan kalau tinggal nanti lagi. Okay, tunggu. Lepas tu saya nak mention sekali lagi. Ingat kita ada 3 hari berturut-turut event dekat esok hari.
Ya,
ada masa 2 hari. Kalau tak sempat hari ni boleh datang esok. Tak sempat esok boleh datang Jumaat. Last untuk tahun ini. Lepas tu jumpa next year. Next year tak pasti lagi macam mana.
Follow kita FB.
Follow rapat-rapat Facebook kita. You orang akan dapat detail yang terkini dan apa kita punya promo. Contohlah kalau macam nak cari resepi kan, follow kita punya Instagram, ada resepi, ada video dia. Kalau you online jual customer, esok hari you akan dapat nampak semua tu apa yang kita tunjukkan.
Kita memang open share sahaja. So you must follow kita punya FB dengan kita punya houtbaking. So dalam ni semua ada yang kita punya
kalau nak
resepi.
TikTok kami ada juga TikTok, tapi you all boleh follow TikTok kita. Next malam kita boleh buat live dekat TikTok ke, menjual dalam TikTok ke kan?
Ya.
Betul tak? Sekarang ramai sangat orang menjual kat TikTok kan? So follow kita punya 3 media sosial ni.
OK， 所以我们除了今天有这个VANHOUTEN的这个 event， 所以我们明天也是一样有这个 event， 我们是做 Christmas 的 party， 是 for chocolate， 所以我们是有 VANHOUTEN 和 Callebaut 的这个 chocolate， 所以明天的呢，我们是没有 live demo， 也没有这个class demo 啦，所以我们有的是你们可以来尝试，我们试看我们的 VANHOUTEN chocolate 和我们 Callebaut 的 chocolate， 所以我们还可以知道我们的 offer， 所以你们可以试看你们的 chocolate 的是什么什么口子啦。我们有明天，还有星期五25号我们有 Callebaut 的，也是 live demo， 所以请关注我们。所以我们现在把那个时间交ให้给老师。
So sekarang kita serahkan kepada chef, tunggu kita untuk live nanti. Okay, bye.
OK。我要記得，我驚我唔記得。可以聽到啊？聽到冇啊 ？Hello hello。Hello hello hello。William 係冇聲嘅係咪？有聲冇？有聽到冇？Ada dengar? Ya. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Amanda. I'm from the Callebaut group. So I'm the technical chef for Southeast Asia. So today we're going to present some recipes regarding one of our brands, which is VANHOUTEN Professional. So VANHOUTEN Professional, we have real couvertures and also compound, and also cocoa powders. So today we'll just do some simple applications using all these our products for VANHOUTEN. So for today, we are going to do 3 recipes actually. One will be the brownies and red velvet. Another one will be a biscotti, and the last one will be just a simple chocolate cake using our satin black. I'm not sure whether you heard of our satin black before. So this is our satin black. So today we will start with the brownies first. So the recipes I will just jump around. So if you all have any question in between, you let me know, because I'm not doing it all at once. I will jump from one recipe to another. So I'll explain as I go. So today I'm going to start with the brownies first. So the brownies, I'm actually using our 70% dark couverture, which is this packaging over here. You can see outside, this one is 53.9%. So we have another one that is 70.4%. Then it's with butter as well, and some eggs, some brown sugar, some sugar, salt, and roasted walnuts as well. And over here I already have the sifted flour and the cocoa powder together already, all in here. So I'll start using melt the chocolate and the butter first. So for brownies, usually very simple. I don't use a mixer, I just use a mixing bowl and a whisk. Then I have my eggs here. Usually I'll beat it first before I mix anything else. Then with the eggs, you go same together with your sugar. So there's brown sugar and also plain sugar, plain white sugar. And also some salt. So usually I will just use the whisk. I'll whisk up the sugar and the eggs first and the salt while waiting for the chocolate and the butter to melt. So in the meantime, I'll pour in the dry ingredients in a bowl. So always remember to sieve your dry ingredients to prevent any lumps when you're baking anything. And the walnuts also goes in together. Oven may preheat. Okay, that's all. Okay, ini yang saya. So usually I use a microwave to melt. I prefer to use microwave method as compared to using a bain-marie, meaning a pot and a hot water. Because sometimes I feel with water, sometimes it's very sensitive with chocolate and everything. So I still prefer to use microwave to melt down my chocolate or the butter. So it's not really melted yet. Check. Okay, once it's completely melted, you can actually add it to the egg mixture and the sugar mixture just now. So give it a whisk. Okay, once it's mixed well, you can actually add in your dry ingredients. So give it a stir. So the brownies mixture is done. So usually it's like a very sticky paste, but it's normal because we use a lot of good quality chocolate and also butter, right? So now I'm gonna scale it into 2 different pans. OK， 可以就。I scale 350 for this size.
For base
Yeah, for base. Okay. 攞多個 tray 啊！So I'll bake this at 170 depending on the oven. So I sometimes we usually bake at 180 or so, but because this oven I find it a bit hot, so I adjust the temperature to 170. So about 15 minutes first. We'll see later. So a bigger tray, yes, you can do in a. So also, yes. Yeah, you can do in one tray as well. Yeah, you can. Yes, but the timing maybe you need to look a bit more because it's slightly bigger, right? So it might take a bit longer. So usually I don't bake in big bulks. I usually do like small cakes size, then easy for you to portion also. Then yeah, it depends on how thick you want also anyway. If you want a thicker brownie, of course you can put all together in one tin also can. But this is just about less than 1 inch size of the brownie. Later you can have a look. Sorry?
The level of the oven?
The level, bottom and middle. There's one. They can fit two over here. So the next recipe I'm going to prepare is, I'm going to jump the recipe. I'm going to do the biscotti now. For the biscotti, actually I'll be using our satin black compound also, which is the very black compound that we have. Is actually very natural in coloring. There's no flavoring, it's no charcoal. So this is all using our black cocoa powder that we have. That's why it's so black. You see the compound. So the basic ingredients that we have is flour, butter, sugar, compound, some salt, some walnuts also, chocolate chips as well, and the flour I already sifted all together, everything together here. Then some vanilla essence as well, and in the recipe actually it's written orange zest. If you don't have any fresh orange zest, I just use some mixed peel, the orange mixed peel, then I roughly chop it. So this is about 30 grams. Then the decoration part will be more using of the satin black, some white compound as well, and some orange peel. Later we'll do the final part. Then I'll just do the cookie dough first. Butter in. So the butter, sugar and salt goes in first. So for this I need to use a paddle. Cái compound ở整容佢，咁嗰啲麵粉你可以倒一個煲，好似成一次咁咯。你先啦，你放住啦。啊。So the same thing, we add all the dry ingredients together, the flour, the baking soda, walnuts, well. And also the orange peel. So always scrape the side as well before you add in your eggs and the wet ingredients. So before that, we stir all the ingredients first, for the dry ingredients. Okay, 好似聞到燶。嚇？係。你放好耐啊？
頭先 more than 變咗 more than 5個，
你太耐咗咯
都愛見過咯。
愛，因為我聞到燶。啊。Okay, while waiting, because I think she overheated the compound, so that's why sometimes when we deal with compound in microwave, you need to be very careful. You do not turn it a bit too long, like maybe 1 minute, just to melt the compound. And because like you can smell burnt smell, right? So she put it too long already in the oven, in the microwave, and she turned it more than 1 minute. So definitely the compound will burn, and with such small amount only, definitely the compound will burn. Not only compound, curvature also the same. So usually for melting compound or even chocolate, I need to be very patient also, because I usually use 30 seconds. If there's timer, it's better, because now this you don't really have a timer, right? So you can't, unless you have to really chocolate or have another timer outside. So I always do it every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, take it out, stir a bit. If it's not really melted, then you put it back in again for 30 seconds until it's completely melted lah. Because you cannot be such, for example, want it to be fast, so I put 1 minute, then it will melt faster, but actually it doesn't, because microwave has central heat, right? So that's why the center part will burn your chocolate or your compound. So this is what happens also, I think, just now. Yeah, so basically with such small amount also, so you need to be very careful. So chocolate or compound gets burnt very easily. So once it's melted, you actually add it to the mixture here. Huh? Huh? 邊度？冇。所以我係點樣塗？因為我唔慣我手。呢個手隻啊。So you add in the compound to the butter and the cream first. the vanilla, and the eggs. Okay, once it's mixed well, you can add all in the dry ingredients in already. So I'm going to lightly dust with some flour first on the marble table. So continue to light a bit because it's a bit wet dough. So you roll it like a shape, so you can actually then place it on the tray here. So we will bake about half an hour first for at 170 first. So after we bake, then we will rebake again by slicing the cookie later. Sụt cho hả? Sụt cho mày. Sụt cho à? Hả? Sụt cho hơi á. Cho hơi á, không gì á. Sụt cho. So I'll bake for about 35 minutes. 唔識聽話語，sorry。你可以烘咗呢個35 minutes 咗先嚟收 freezer。freezer 成條咁樣收。freezer 嘅嘢多數收1個月幾都冇相關㗎，可以冚㗎 freezer。我係收雪櫃係咁啊。Yes, at least I'll keep 1 month maximum lah, not too long lah. Yes, somehow if you keep things in the freezer or chiller too long, also the quality might not be the same as well. Yes, second, of course, the base is frozen, right? So the second, when you want to bake it again, the slicing, you need to defrost it first. Yeah, you can defrost overnight lah. Which yeah, put that in the chiller. Like normally what you all usually do from frozen to chiller. So I'll go with the next recipe first, which is the chocolate cake recipe. So with this recipe, I have normal ingredients as well, but I also use invert sugar and some sugar as well. And with this recipe, I also use some satin black compound. So the cake is with satin black compound, some ground almond also, flour as well, all sifted together, eggs, and also some cream. Go mixable. Cream. So for the invert sugar, I'll melt it a bit. I'll warm it up a bit with the cream, so to soften the invert sugar. Invert sugar. It's actually I don't use too much sugar, so the cake actually is not too sweet as well. So like using a bit of invert sugar helps to reduce the sweetness of the cake. So this is also it's a type of sugar as well. So I don't use all sugar. I use a bit of invert, so it helps to reduce the sweetness of the cake. So in order to like soften it, actually it's quite soft already, but I want it to mix it well better. So I'll warm it with the cream and the invert together. No, it's not chemical. It's also from a glucose family. It's the same one. It's not chemical. It's like this. It's like a paste. It's not as sticky as glucose.
So we buy it outside also this kind of texture, is it?
Yes, it is. Because this invert sugar is 150 I use, because 75 250 sugar, usually I will add 50 to just 200 400. I still add 100 gram of sugar to the, instead of using invert. Correct. So in a mixer also, I need to mix the eggs and also with the sugar. 係呢個啱呢個兩個 milk 呢個溝埋一齊。呢個應該冇咁快燶嚟咗，你但係唔好放咁耐啊，因為真係。So the same thing goes, we mix all the dry ingredients together.頭先你有冇幫我拎temperature gun？你幫我拎。So I melted the compound with the butter together. So once the mixture is light and fluffy, then I'll add in the cream just now and the invert sugar that is heated up. So I'll pour it in slowly. Okay, once it's added, then we can add our dry ingredients. 咁我哋有一支可以攞走。呢個去咗。So before we add the compound and the butter, we scrape the side a bit. Then we slowly add it in.
Ataupun saya boleh tunjuk dekat ni mana? Ni sini.
Boleh, sekejap lah. Okay. So, let's show dia.
Mungkin ke sini. Okay. Tengok tekstur dia. Mấy mặt hỏi rồi. Okay.
So I'll bake for 170 as well, the temperature. But I'm not sure how long this oven takes. But usually because I bake in a loaf, in a bigger loaf, so it takes longer. So this one probably maybe 15 to 20 minutes only. The next recipe, I'm going to jump back to the red velvet, which is the cream cheese frosting. 呢個愛洗啊，全部我用，我用嗰個 paddle 嘅，嗰個 paddle。So for this cream cheese frosting, there's only 3 ingredients: cream cheese, some icing sugar, and also some cream as well. At the same time, I also will prepare the ganache for the red velvet brownies. So I'll boil the cream and the milk first together. This already scaled together. So for the ganache, I actually use 53.9% chocolate from Van Houten. And some butter as well, which I will blend in later. Yang kecil tu tadi, maybe 15 to 20 minutes dulu.
If normal cake mold,
Sorry?
if normal cake mold or the chocolate cake,
Normal cake mold. Which normal cake mold do you?
what is the inch for this one?
The small one. Just now I use the silicone mold.
Normal this recipe
Yes.
for 7-inch or 8-inch.
It depends because on what size or how high you want the cake it to be. Because
So your recipe
mine is usually baked in the loaf side, which is a tin that is about this size. It's not the white one, it's a thinner one. I have a thin one. It's not as big as this. It's about this. It's a slimmer one like this. So I can bake into 2. I can bake 2 loaves actually.
So how long do you need to?
That one I bake longer, more than 40 minutes, because it's a bigger portion of the cake. So I'll heat up the cream until 80, then I pour it into the chocolate. So usually when I make ganache, I will leave the cream to let it melt the chocolate by itself first before I start stirring. So I'll leave it to like 30 seconds first. Okay. Then I'll stir before I use a hand blender. So the purpose of using a hand blender is to create a smoother ganache. When you hand blend using this to blend to make your ganache, it gives a smoother texture as well. Sorry? 80? Yeah. Cái tổ này個煲嗰度，唔係倒呢度，因為我打咗嘛。係。So I let it cool down for a while before I actually blend in the butter. So I'll leave it for a while first. Now it's about 43. I'll cool it down to 35 first. So we'll mix the cream cheese frosting first. 嗰個遲啲如果攞出嚟，你插咗，如果熟咗，你可以攞出嚟咗。嗰個 cake 如果遲啲響咗，你可以插嚟睇熟唔熟。你知啊？刀啊，有刀都得，有啲咁樣嘅刀嚟插落去。呢樣睇咗。呢個都紅咗。So this is the biscotti just now. So I'll leave it to cool it down first before I can do the slicing. Okay. So this one also was the chocolate cake just now. So about 15 minutes just now, 170. Mình因為依家搞掂呢個先，因為依家要做都因為大家做咗 Christmas frosting 做咗，so 我會 slice biscotti。你有 chopping board 冇？
Dia minta aku tunjukkan dulu sebelum campur barang lain.
Apa dia?
Tunjukkan dulu sebelum masuk barang lain.
Okay. So scrape the sides also for the cream cheese frosting before you add in the cream.
Okay, boleh nampak tekstur dia? Then you can slowly add in the cream.
So once the ganache is about 40, I'll blend in the butter. So actually using a blender helps you to create a very smooth ganache. So I usually won't use a whisk because whisk will incorporate a lot of air to your ganache. So it's always good to use a hand blender. So you can see the texture is actually very smooth. So this I'll leave aside. Okay. One second. Biscotti, am I? Okay, next I'm going to do, I'm going to slice the biscotti. Tray, oh yeah, I mean. So I like my biscotti to be thick, but it depends on you also. Some like it thinner, but I like it to be on a thicker side. So I will slice slightly thicker. So once it's sliced, you can actually arrange on the tray. Satu?
Satu dah tunjuk dekat.
Tapi belum habis punya. bake and slice.
Slice first, then you bake. Can you do that?
Now I'm baking it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you bake one round first.
Yes, correct.
Then only you slice.
Yep.
Can we do it the other way around?
Slice first, but how do you?
From the dough, then only you bake.
I don't think you're able to slice from the dough because it's too soft.
Oh, that's why you need to bake.
Yeah, that's why biscotti, we need to bake it the whole loaf first before you can slice. It's not really fully cooked. It's like 70% cooked. Yeah, 70% cooked, then only you can slice, then only you bake again. Yeah, because the dough is too soft for you to actually do slicing first before you actually want to
So that's the reason for the
biscotti
first round.
baking first. Correct. Yeah. The purpose is to bake it as in the whole loaf first, as in the outside part is crispy and crunchy first before the inner part you slice again to bake again. Yeah. About 10 minutes for this size. Yeah. 呢個未好，因為未烘緊，我哋做 chocolate cake 嘅 decor 先，做嗰個 yeah. So now I'm going to do the finishing for the chocolate cake. I actually have already frozen cake before I do any glazing.
So second ni berapa preparation?
107 juga, 170 also. 唔係，放住放先，放上去。唔係，嗰個我想啦，我講緊。So over here, I actually have some melted compound and also with the oil mixed in together. So this is actually the coating part. If you see the chocolate cake recipe, the second part is the coating, which is the black compound, the satin black, and also some oil. So I actually made it, melted it already. I'll melt it again because it sets. So this is basically a simple coating, just compound with a bit of oil. So if you want to add some nuts to it, also can if you want to do a coating, but this just make a simple plain coating. Right. So always remember your cakes have to be frozen before you actually can do any coating. So this one I already prepared and it's frozen already. chocolate deco 你攞埋出嚟啊！嗰個雪櫃嗰度啊。So for the coating, usually I'll heat it up until 40 to 45 for compound. So it's actually oil and the melted compound. So to do the coating, remember the cake has to be frozen. Because the cakes is easier for you to set your glazing, because if it's room temperature, it will melt off quite easily. Then you see a lot of legs at the bottom. So it's actually better to frozen your cakes before you actually glaze it. And also it's easier because if it's soft, when you want to dip it, you might just drop in. So that's why it has to be frozen. Oh, 可以攞出嚟㗎。이거 뭐죠? So over here I also made some decoration using transfer sheets. So I'm not sure you're familiar with transfer sheets. It's actually designs of in a paper or the plastic, usually with many designs. So I have this is with colors. So I actually use this with the satin black as well. So it's really black in color. So I'm just going to torch it a bit, meaning to heat it up a bit, just to stick some of the decoration on top. transfer sheets. It's actually using the compound also actually. I just melted some compound and pour it on the transfer sheets. Yes, we call it transfer sheet. It can be any design because I think even HOI they sell different designs. So it's up to you whether which pattern or design you want. It's a yes, the plastic itself. Yes, correct. Set.
And then you can use it as a decor.
Yes, correct. So I have different design also. I have one with like daisy flower as well. So if any places they are selling with like Christmas decor, you can use as a Christmas decor as well.
If I want to use nuts, right, do I sprinkle the nuts first and then do the coating?
It's up to you whether which way you like. You want the nuts to be exposed on top also can, or sometimes I also like to do my coating mixed together with the nuts, correct? So you have different textures also and it also helps to prevent the nuts from getting soggy. Because if you mix it together with the coating, because if you sprinkle on top, it might get soggy at one time. So at least with the coating, it helps to prevent the sogginess of your nuts.
This coating is going to melt after we put out?
No, because this is actually compound, so it's quite heat resistant as compared to couvertures. Of course, couvertures you might see it a bit softer, correct? So this is compound. So compounds are very versatile. They very heat resistant somehow in room temperature like this.呢個收掉咗先，仲有咩？呢個收翻雪櫃先，我聽日再用。仲有做啲咩 red velvet 啊？遲啲先包啦，我想問，遲啲再包到冇？包到。呢個遲啲上。哦，biscotti 都未 cut 咯，但應該仲好熱係咪？做 brownie 先，做個 brownie。So next I'm going to finish the brownies, red velvet brownies first. Một chỉ xinh ngồi cho做一個啫啦，唔使同你講。So this is the baked brownies just now that we baked just now. So it's a very thin layer. So because I'm going to do layering, right? So I don't need it to be very thick. So I have my red velvet. So over here also I have the red velvet sponge that is ready. So I use the pre-mix powder that is available from HOI also. So I already made the red velvet sponge in advance. So it's basically water and oil only added to the flour. So if you can see the recipe, I actually added a recipe with syrup. So for this sponge that I use from HOI, I am not going to use any syrup because I find the cake red velvet sponge that they have is very moist enough. And because some other brands in the market that you see the pre-mixed one, the red velvet sponge are a bit on the drier side. So that's why in the recipe I added syrup just in case you might need to wet your sponge a bit. So for this HOI one, I'm not going to add any syrup because it's very moist cake. So I think it's good enough, not too soggy and not too dry as well. So the first layer is of course brownies. So followed by cream cheese frosting first. The next layer. Yeah. So for this recipe, actually you can make 2 portions of this, but I'm going to show just one today. So this is about 300 grams of the cream cheese frosting. Hit the script. Next is the red velvet sponge. Followed by a layer of ganache. So for the ganache, I'm not going to use all as well. It's up to you whether you want it thicker or thinner, but I want it thin because on top I can still pipe some ganache as a decoration part later. So this one is about 150 first. So yeah, so this is the red velvet brownies like this. So if you are not gonna have it tomorrow, you can still wrap it nicely and keep it in the freezer. So defrost as normal, like usual. Like when you want to serve it the next day, you defrost it earlier one day in the chiller before. So this also can be kept in the freezer if you are not serving it tomorrow. Biscotti. Let's see. Do I milk or chocolate? 嗰個唔一樣㗎，嗰個另外一個啊，嗰個唔一樣。milk 有嗰個啊細嘅有嗰個，仲有一個細嘅。 呢個都係乜？你洗嗰個定我洗？ 你未洗係咪嗰啲？ So for the coating of the biscotti, I'm going to use a satin black as well. So, and some white compound for lining.我做緊你就搣嗰個白色嘅啦。So I usually don't want to overheat the compound. So usually I will do coating at 40 degrees. Basically, what I see is just at the right time where is all melted lah. So that's how if you want to see, because I don't want it to be too hot when you do any coating. So usually I'll coat it at 40. That's why you have to make sure you really stir it well first before you do any coating. Using Van Houten as well? Or? Yeah. Because like if you see after melted, we don't see any oil separation also. It could be, and also because of the oil that is used for different brands, I'm not sure what kind of oil that they use. So ours, we will not have any issue like even though you overheat a bit, it won't melt, it won't separate as in the oil and the compound itself. So usually you still see some like oil marks on top, on the surface, but then you just have to make sure you stir it well, then it's okay to use already. You won't see separation of oil for our compound. So even if you heat it up to 50, it doesn't separate also for the oil and the compound.
If I cannot finish, then can I put in the fridge?
I don't keep in the fridge. Because compound, you can just leave it in the room temperature. It's okay. Yeah, I don't encourage you to keep in the fridge also, because fridge got a lot of humidity. So when humidity, that moisture goes into your compound or even your couverture, it might thicken your compound. That's why sometimes when people take out the compound from the fridge and they start to melt, then they say, why is the compound so thick and everything, then they start complaining, say why your product like this or that, right? So actually, because a lot of reasons that the way you keep your compound is also very important. Do not keep in the fridge if possible.
After melted, don't keep in the fridge.
Even before also, no. Yes. Just all, yeah. The best is always like they say it's a air conditioned room for example. But I know not everyone have air conditioned 24 hours, right? But for compound, it's still safe to keep in a room temperature that is dry and not no direct sunlight, those kind of things. So it's still compound is still good to keep in a room temperature, but not couverture. Couverture a bit sensitive. Couverture might melt easily. Because compound is heat resistant, so it's different.
So for coating, it's best to use compound and not couverture.
Couverture also can. It's up to you, but couverture, because you need to do tempering. Yeah. Heating up the chocolate, then you have to cool it down and bring it back up to the certain temperature. So chocolate is about more technical part where you need to do tempering, meaning you have to crystallize the cocoa butter in the chocolate. Like compound, you don't have cocoa butter, it's palm oil. So that's why you don't need to temper for compound. You can melt it and use it straight away. But couverture, you need to temper it, meaning cooling it down and bring it back up to a certain temperature before you can actually do coating. Because if you melt chocolate directly like this and do coating at 40 degrees, it will not set. It will not set. And even though if you keep it in the fridge, you let it set, it will have very unpleasant look, like a lot of white lines, and the chocolate doesn't set nicely, it doesn't look appealing. So that's the difference between chocolate and compound. Yep. So compound, that's why it's easy, because you can just melt it and use it straight away. But couverture, you have to be more on the technical side where you need to do tempering. So it's up to you how you want to dip your cookie to dip it half only. Không có phòng piping bag nữa. So just to decorate, I'll draw some lining.
This is white chocolate.
White compound, yes. 後尾你幫我滲少少。So actually you see the compound is actually starting to set already, even with this room temperature. Phong 住先啦，我放呢度先啦，到時我都可以擺喺碟咗。OK， thank you。煲。Okay, the last part of the finishing will be the red velvet brownies. I actually have prepared in advance also the cake ready. So actually, like the ganache, sometimes you have leftover. You can leave it and let it like set in like this cool temperature. It becomes like a paste. It's easier for you to do decoration and piping. Because like just now, the previous one is still watery. Because it's just made this today just now. So this is made yesterday. So this side is on a setter, more firm side, so you can do a little piping or decoration. So if you leave it to tomorrow, this one also will set a bit more than now. So actually, if you see the recipe, at the bottom part, I actually had this coating part also. So this one I actually coated the red velvet brownies just now with a bit of, this one is the one with nuts. That's what I was mentioning. So coating is basically couverture or compound with oil, and you can add nuts to it. So this one I added almond nips to it. So I coated the side of the cake. I didn't want to coat all because I want to let people see the layer, the color of it. So this is like a different way of presenting your cake. You can just not just a normal red velvet brownies, but then also some nice coating at the side. The cake has to be frozen also. That's why, yes, freeze it. Freeze it, then it's easier for you to do coating. That's why, like just now, the chocolate cake also has to be frozen before you do any coating. Actually, I was using a knife also actually. Because once it's frozen, you don't have to worry about it falling off. Because if it's soft, it definitely will fall off when you do any coating. Yeah, you use a normal knife, this kind of paring knife also, it won't fall off. It's most important, it has to be frozen. Same method, correct. So that's why that one was more on the compound coating with just plain coating. So this one will be coating with some nuts, some almonds. So then actually once, because I portioned it already, then I dip it, right? So it was set.
No, I mean just now the square one that you just
Yes.
you dip it in the
Freezer.
then you unmold it.
I let it frozen before I portion it. So it was actually one size of the cake square just now, but I cut it into half. So it has to be frozen as well. It's easier for you to cut and get a cleaner cut as well. So it's actually the whole tin that I actually cut it into half. So looks more like a log cake. So even though sometimes I have extra brownies, I don't throw away the trimmings. Sometimes you have trimmings, so I cut into cubes as well. So later I'll just deco on top of the cake itself, so give some texture, also some better 3D effect also. 呢個你幫我放少少 cocoa powder 你撈一放張你拎過嚟啦。So for this, I'll add a bit of cocoa powder to the brownies. Just lightly dust it a bit lah. Just give some coating, some color also. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, basically this is just like a thin, like a noodle, that's what they call it. So, but it's up to you. You want to use nozzle with your ganache, also piping on top also can. So it's up to you to design. So I'm just gonna deco with some brownies just now. Yeah, the white is the cream cheese frosting. The bottom is the brownies. The middle, the second layer will be the cream cheese frosting, then the red velvet sponge, and the top is the ganache. Then the outer layer is the coating. If you want to be more adventurous, to do more fancy cakes, then you can do coating at the side. Yeah. 應該搞掂咗嗬？
搞掂咗。
係咪啊？OK，可以擺嘢咗。等先啊。Yes， 呀，睇下 display。呢個衛生，我到時會擺。未好嘅，我仲係擺嘢，又有。真我其實。
Saya tidak mention.
Hello， 回到来我们这边。So 现在我们这个的 event 这个 VANHOUTEN Chocolate 的这个 demo class 我们已经到尾声了。So 刚才老师做的你们都详细明白吗？如果不明白的话，有东西不明白你们可以PM 我们留言，我们有什么问题我们都会回答给你们。所以刚刚老师所做的就是他很多是用这个 sanding black 的这个 compound chocolate， 所以你会看到是怎样呢？因为这个 compound black 呢，它是用我们的纯的那个黑的 cocoa 粉来制造成的，它不是用那个茶果粉、酒摊粉，所以说变成我们所做的 chocolate 出来，你都会看到它特别黑的，它也不会讲特别苦的。所以如果你们要想尝试的话，你们就进我们的 houten.com 里面，你们也可以买到。所以今天我们把买过它的这个 VANHOUTEN 的 chocolate， 买过200块以上，所以我们会有送一个手套，我们会送一个 apron， 这个围裙 kitchen 围裙。然后我们还会有送多一个它的这个 silicone 的这个耐热的这个的 spatula。如果你贩卖过100块以上的它的全部产品，我们就会附送这2个赠品给你们。然后我们的这些 chocolate 也是会有优惠 ，OK？ 所以你们想尝试，如果你们还想真的到场来尝试的话，我们明天还会有这个，我们是做这个 Christmas 的 party， 所以也是很多这个VANHOUTEN的 chocolate 来给你们试吃。然后在25号这个星期五呢，我们也是会有一场的这个现场直播，这个是 Calabar 的，所以你们记得来到我们现场，还是你们要在我们的 live 这个的现场直播看也是可以。
Okey, dengar apa dia cakap tadi, itu kita yang tadi sudah faham. So tadi dah tengok apa yang chef kita buat dan diguna coklat apa dan banyak sangat dessert yang dia olah. Cakap olah kan. Untuk saya nak bagi tahu untuk Van Houten ni kita memang ada promo. Nak tahu berapa harga dia boleh tengok dekat wholebaking.com. Dan pembelian RM200 ke atas akan dapat 3 item free gift, iaitu salah satu dia 3 item oven brand spatula and then apron brand Houten brand Van Houten dia dah tulis kat sini. Tak senang ke dapat. So kalau pembelian RM200 ke atas akan dapat 3 ni dan RM100 ke atas akan dapat 2 item ni.
Betul.
So tadi dah tengok apa yang chef kita buat kan, dia guna coklat
Something black. Dia ada guna banyak something black. Ini something black dia tahu yang guna tu black cocoa powder. So jadi itu coklat you buat punya bahan kan semua dia akan double black. So you boleh nampak dia gelap
sedap
hitam.
Gelap walaupun dia gelap. Walaupun dia hitam tapi dia sedap.
So nampak you punya color, tengok dia punya coklat bukan biasa kita punya dark coklat. Kita punya dark coklat dia pun ada sikit macam brown color. So macam ni nampak macam tadi chef buat tu
dia nampak hitam. Manis saya cakap. Walaupun hitam dia ada manisnya. Itu dia guna black satin. So apa lagi cakap?
Besok.
Untuk esok ke harinya kita tak ada live demo, cuma kita ada makan-makan kira Christmas party macam tu lah. Lebih kurang lah kan.
You orang boleh datang sini try kita punya coklat apa biasa yang compact, apa biasa yang commercial, apa biasa yang berapa persen. You boleh datang sini try. Lagi sini ada kopi, ada
kopi mahal tu, sedap tau. So datang sini kalau ada masa, siapa yang housewife, siapa yang masa boring kat rumah, boleh datang ke HOI untuk rasa kita punya dessert kan. So saya nak bagi tahu kita dah sampai penghujungnya. 3 hari betul-betul ni event kita untuk hujung tahun ni, terakhir untuk tahun ini. Jumpa kita lagi untuk next year. Tak pasti bulan berapa. Follow rapat-rapat page kita untuk tahu inform. So kita tak ada apa lagi nak cakap. Itu sahaja daripada saya dengan kawan saya Tin. Jumpa lagi esok hari. Esok saya tak pasti saya akan buat live atau tidak, tapi kita akan inform. Tak buat lah. So kita tak buat esok. Jumpa pada hari Jumaat guys. Jumaat esok pun kita. Esok kalau saya tak buat live, mungkin you all akan tengok live untuk PM pula kan. So jumpa pada hari Jumaat, waktu yang sama. Jumaat pukul 1 hingga pukul 4 bergantung pada keadaan. Event apa, nantikan dekat kita punya page. Tahu saya Selebak punya brand. So boleh follow kita punya page ya. Okey, itu sahaja daripada saya. Terima kasih untuk stay dalam live kita. Dan terima kasih sebab support setiap kali kita punya live, support kita punya event. Okey, baik, itu sahaja daripada saya. Bye.